everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a mix of things that I no longer use on my hair and things that I no longer avoid for my hair. I wouldn't go as far as to say they're mistakes that I no longer make because everyone's hair is different, so what works for me and what no longer works for me may work for you or may not work for you. So yeah, let's go ahead. First up is deep conditioning. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I haven't deep conditioned my hair in probably about 2 years now. The most I will do these days is deep condition the ends of my hair when they get a bit drier, but I don't deep condition my entire head ever. I don't use hair masks, I don't use deep conditioner because it just doesn't need it. I don't have any heat damage on my hair, I'm not recovering from any other kind of damage, my hair isn't naturally dry. Deep conditioner is for people who have dry hair, people who have coarse hair that needs softening, people who have damaged hair, but my hair is none of those things, so regular conditioner is enough. And in fact, sometimes just using a leave-in conditioner as a rinse out conditioner is enough. And it's nothing against any of the deep conditioners that I used to use. A lot of them are really great products. It just doesn't need the extra softness from deep conditioners, even if it has protein in. Next up is CoWash. I haven't co-washed my hair in longer than I haven't deep conditioned it for. I think I only went through like a small period of co-washing my hair when I first started following the curly girl method, which I also no longer do, but you've probably gathered that from my channel anyway. I used to kind of co-wash my hair probably every other wash day, but it just isn't right for my hair. If you're co-washing your hair and then conditioning your hair and deep conditioning your hair, I've said this before, but you're basically conditioning your hair 3 times. Co-wash, conditioner, deep conditioner. And if your hair is naturally soft, if your hair's healthy, it just doesn't need that level of conditioning. I also really like the feel of a nice lathering shampoo. I like a good clean, and a co-wash just doesn't give my hair that. For some people, co-wash is really good. Some people it works really well, especially if you have a dry scalp or very dry hair. But if you are co-washing, I would say try not to strictly co-wash. Make sure that you are also clarifying your hair on a regular basis because you want to make sure that you're getting rid of the buildup, especially if you are using a lot of curly hair products that you leave in your hair. Something else that I no longer do is wash my hair once a week. I used to try and stretch my wash days as long as I could. Sometimes I would do a full wet refresh on a day 6 hair. Why did I do that? I may as well have just washed my hair. I don't know, maybe my scalp's needs have changed and I need to wash it more often nowadays, but I typically wash my hair on day 4 hair. So wash day is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how much I've worked out, how sweaty I've got during my workouts, how many products I use in my hair, if my hair's feeling like really built up. And that really works for me, my lifestyle, my schedule. For some people, washing your hair once a week may be perfect for you. Your scalp may not be particularly greasy. You may not use loads of products on your hair. You may find that it dries your hair out. You may wash your hair more than 2 or 3 times a week. You may find that you have quite an oily scalp and you need to wash your hair even more than that. Everyone's scalp is different. And one more on the hair washing topic, something else I no longer avoid is sulfates. I'm no longer worried that I'm stripping my natural oils, ridding my hair of all moisture, drying my hair out, because my hair is so soft naturally now. I don't need to stop my hair from drying out. If you do find your hair is dry, then maybe avoiding sulfates works for you. If you do find that using a sulfate is too stripping for your scalp, then maybe a sulfate isn't for you. But for me, I probably use this every other wash day, and on the wash days when I'm not using a sulfate shampoo, I'll use a low poo, which is a sulfate free shampoo. This is one of my favorite ones, the Scalp Restore from Umberto Giannini, but I've got lots of favorite sulfate-free shampoos. This does a really good job of cleansing. All of the shampoos that I use do a really good job of cleansing my hair. I don't really go for gentle cleansing shampoos anymore just because I do use quite a lot of products on my hair. When I am washing my hair, I want to make sure that I'm removing all the buildup and that I'm getting it off the lengths of my hair as well. That's something else that I do as well now. I make sure to take the shampoo all the way down the ends of my hair. How am I going to get the buildup off otherwise? I no longer load my hair with loads of protein. You will remember me saying before that my hair absolutely loves protein. Figuring out that my hair loves protein is a game game changer for me. I need protein in all my products. I need protein treatments. I can't get enough protein. And while it is true that my hair likes protein and I do still incorporate protein into my routine, I don't think my hair is either as protein hungry as it once was, or maybe it was never as protein hungry as I thought it was. I don't know, I haven't really figured that one out yet. The reason why my hair liked protein is because protein adds structure to your hair, it helps it bounce up. But what I was doing was using a lot of moisturizing products. I was using heavy creams, too much cream, products with a lot of butters in them, which were weighing my curls down. But now, what I've figured out is my hair likes light moisture, light protein, and strong hold. And that is what gives me my best results. That is what helps my hair last the longest these days. I am still doing protein treatments. I still do a gelatin treatment like once a month or something like that, depending on my hair's needs, but I'm not using like loads and loads of like protein cream, protein gel, things like that. So I'll usually use a protein-free cream, a foam with protein in it, and then a stronghold gel. But sometimes I don't even use any protein on a wash day and I still manage to get good results because I know now that my hair likes strong hold and light moisture. That is, at the moment, my perfect combination. This could change. You never know. The next thing that I no longer do is diffuse my hair on a low speed and low heat. Yes, I still diffuse my hair. It gives me the best results. It helps my curls bounce up. It gives me volume. Much better than air dried results for me because my hair isn't getting weighed down by the water. But I used to diffuse my hair on a low speed and a low heat, but then I started using heat when diffusing my hair, and I actually had a hair analysis a couple of years ago which I did do a video about, and no heat damage was shown on my hair. So I do diffuse my hair now with heat. This dryer, actually the lowest heat setting other than the cool shot is, I would say, a medium to high heat. And so I use either the lowest heat setting on this one, which is hotter than most low heat settings. Sometimes I even go up to the second heat setting just for a little bit, just like to speed up the drying time. And I also use a medium speed on my hair now. I don't diffuse on a low speed. Sometimes I'll diffuse on the high one, but it can give me a bit of frizz if I go full blast on it. So yeah, I usually use like a medium heat and a medium to high speed when diffusing my hair. It diffuses my hair much faster and it doesn't seem to be giving me any heat damage. You can use a heat protectant. I do use a heat protectant sometimes, especially if I'm not using any other products on my hair. This is one of my favorites from Curlsmith. It's actually like practically empty now. I love using this one in the summer as well because it also protects from UV damage, chlorine damage. I'll link my damage video above where I talk about this in more detail. But also when you diffuse your hair, it's not as concentrated as when you're like blasting your hair with the blow dryer, or when you are straightening your hair or curling your hair with curling tongs. It does disperse the air. It's not concentrated on one section. Also, you're moving it about all the time. I do find that I can get away with using a bit of a high heat and a bit of a high speed these days. But again, this is what works for me. It may not work for you. Another thing that I no longer avoid using on my hair is drying alcohols. So obviously when you follow the curly girl method, drying alcohols is one of the things that you are recommended to avoid because it can dry your hair out. I got to a point when my hair was very, very soft and healthy, and I actually wanted my hair to be dry. I just felt like it would be much easier to deal with if I could just add moisture to my hair. Some of the products that have drying alcohols are things that add texture and grit to your hair, and that is something that I really like in my hair. It gives my hair a bit of body and volume, and it helps my curls last when you get that grit. And I get grit from like stronghold gels which don't contain drying alcohols, but some of the products that I absolutely love using on my hair that add texture and grit, like these two for example, contain drying alcohols, and while they do add a certain dryness to your hair because they add texture and grit to your hair, as soon as I wash my hair, that buildup is washed off and it no longer feels dry. It's back to its usual softness. So I really love using these kind of products. This is the Umberto Giannini Volumizing Texture Mist, which I've shared loads on Instagram. I absolutely love this product. I use it most wash days at the roots to give my hair some volume, and then I give it a spritz all over because it just adds grit to my hair. And something else it often contains drying alcohols is dry shampoo. I really like this particular dry shampoo from Living Proof. This is the Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. It smells really nice, but it actually also cleans my hair really well. I like using this one between wash days, like if I've worked out. I like to use it before I work out as well. That's a really good tip, to use it before you work out, because then it kind of absorbs the sweat while you are working out, and then you just shake your roots afterwards. Another thing that I no longer avoid using is brushes. I use a brush on my hair now. What you gonna do? It took me a really long time to get my head around brush styling and to figure out how to get it to work best on my hair. It took me a while to figure out how to section my hair. I could never ever figure that out, but now that I've got it down, I absolutely love brush styling. It gives me really good, like, predictable results, especially when I'm using products that I know work for me, and it helps distribute the product easier. I also like to use a brush to detangle in the shower nowadays. I just find it much quicker. I always finger detangle my hair first, but then I like to finish off with a brush. I also, even if I'm not brush styling my hair in sections, will still brush my hair through when I'm applying product, or like before I scrunch my hair, because I find that it helps smooth frizz. Before I used the brush, I didn't brush style, and I didn't even use a brush when I was detangling or anything like that. When I was applying products, I used to rake my product through, but I would never be able to properly smooth my hair down and smooth the frizz down. So I would always have some wet frizz, and then wet frizz just translates into dry frizz. So now, even when I am not brush styling, I will still like brush my hair through to make sure the product is all distributed and to make sure that I've smoothed any like flyaways, and then I'll scrunch my hair, and it just works much better for me. I really like it. Again, if you don't want to use a brush in your hair, don't use a brush if you don't like them. I am going to continue to use them in my routine going forward. This is a really dirty brush. I must have used it to dry detangle and not taken the hair out. That's really awkward. Don't look at it. And lastly, something else that I no longer avoid on my hair is oil. I actually really like to use oil on my hair now, and I'll get to why, but I'll tell you first why I didn't used to use them. So previously, when I followed the curly girl method, you're obviously told not to use oils on your hair because they can stop your hair from absorbing moisture, which is true, but it also works the other way around. So they can also stop your hair from losing moisture. So as long as you're using oils in the right way, then I don't really see a problem with using oils. I haven't had any issues like with my hair not absorbing moisture when I've been using oils. They wash out of my hair on wash day because I'm always pretty much using a clarifying shampoo. So I'm not having any issues with oil buildup or anything like that. I also used to find that oils would make my hair stringy, and after doing some research, I realized that that was because my hair is low porosity, and low porosity hair, because it's healthy, it doesn't need a lot of oil. So if you have like similar hair to me and you find that oil makes your hair stringy, literally just use a drop or half a drop. I really like this oil from Bounce Curl. I've been using this like most days for the last few months, and that is all I've got through. I will just take a couple of drops on my hands, and at the end of a wash day or between wash days, I'll flip my head forward and just glaze it over this section of my hair. This section here gets really quite knotty, and it really, especially during the winter, stops it from getting as knotty. It adds lubrication and slip to my hair. So instead of the hairs rubbing up against each other and creating friction and knots, they are gliding because they're a little bit more lubricated. So yeah, I love using oil for that purpose. I'll also kind of like go over the ends and seal them in. The main reason that I use oil now is to prevent knots on my hair. I don't always use it to seal my hair. I do it sometimes, but I try to avoid it on like my wavier pieces and my like finer pieces, because I find that that can make my hair go stringy. But yeah, you may find that you need to use loads more oil than me. You love to saturate your hair in oil. You love to do like an oil massage and things like that. As with all of these things, that you have to figure out how to make it work best for you, and if it works for you, don't stop doing it. So yes, those are 10 things that I no longer use on my hair or no longer avoid on my hair. As I've said throughout this video, it really is down to personal preference. It's down to your own hair's needs. Some things may work for you that don't work for me, and vice versa. And also, your hair's needs can change. Who knows? I might be quoting myself again next year saying, I can't believe I did that. I hope you found this video helpful, and let me know in the comments what things you no longer use on your hair or what things you no longer avoid on your hair. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.